Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. This is your UFC 260 Aftermath show where we'll be giving you a full recap on all the events that took place during Saturday night's main card. We'll also be going to take a look at the updated fighter rankings from UFC.com and discuss what's next for both winners and losers. Lastly, we'll round off by taking a look at some of those post-fight Twitter conversations and memes. Stay tuned. Okay, and welcome back. So let's dive into a quick recap then of some of the results from the Saturday. So starting off, in the lightweight division, we had Jamie Malarkey knocking out Karma Worthy in 46 seconds of round number 1. Then we had in the women's flyweight division, we had both Miranda, Maverick, and Jillian Roberts going to a decision, with Maverick taking that decision with 2 rounds, scoring 30-27. Then moving on, we went to the bantamweight division as Sean O'Malley avenged his last loss. He got back into the win column by securing a round 3 knockout of Thomas Almeida. Then in the co-main event, Vicente Luque defeated Tyron Woodley via submission in round number 1, putting him back into contention for potential title fight later on down the line. Then our main event, where we had Francis Ngannou defeating Stipe Miocic round 2 via knockout to take home the heavyweight title. So that was your quick recap. Let's join in with the boys now. How are we doing, guys?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm really excited. But I'm doing well, all in all. What about you, Ash? How you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
How's
the
family?
fights we had at the weekend were quality. Yeah, all
Yeah.
good, mate. All good.
Yeah, it was a good
How about
card, I must
yourself?
admit. To
Yeah,
be honest,
it
you
was.
know what? In just introducing you guys here, I had the vision of Sai just walking in as if like Barack Obama's just joined the Jimmy Kimmel show or something. Like, hey, how you guys? Hey, with a big smile.
Stop.
But I'm glad you didn't.
I'm here now. What's your second wish?
Oh dear. So boys, we had a cracking main card at the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a quick sort of overview then. So we had Jamie Malarkey. He got that much needed win against Karma Worthy.
Yeah, definitely.
We knew he was going to push the pace and look to take the center of the octagon. He done exactly that. And he done well at marching forward with those hands up, using his head movement to get inside and land a flush step in left hook.
Yeah.
It was quality KO.
It was quite surprising. It was nice to see that Maverick's back on the win column after having two losses in his previous outings, and fighting.
Yeah, he was
a very tough competitor as well.
That happened all too quickly as well, didn't it? So I remember we was watching it, weren't we? And I thought Worthy was going to win that one. I did. I genuinely thought he was going to win it.
Same with me.
Going into it, I thought he was going to be.
That was right.
Thought he was going to have a good shot, at getting the W, but he just got mowed down instantly.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's
their
embarrassing.
styles were quite similarities in their styles. To be fair, because they both like to.
Yeah.
Well, I say similarities, but you got Worthy on that hand. Is usually a very good counter striker.
Yeah.
And but he just didn't have the answer for that left hook of Jamie Malarkey.
No, that's right. And you two went with Worthy as well. I just suddenly had that feeling that Malarkey was just going to put it
he
off.
needed to make a statement, and he made it, mate. Yeah,
exactly, precisely. But no, it's great to see, and it'll be exciting to see what the UFC throws at him next. Really, I don't really suspect he will be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. But obviously, I was just about to say, like, they must have thought highly of him to keep him in the UFC if he went 0-2. I know he's been in his previous fight. I can't remember the guy he was against, but he was a French guy. That was a close split decision loss against him, and to be fair, he did really well in that fight. That fight could have gone either way. So, I've seen recent fights of this Jamie Malarkey as well. He does have a chin, so that probably could have been why they may have kept him. But they kept him for a reason. He got the knockout power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had a tough fight against was it Brad Riddell as well, didn't he? So
yeah, it did. Yeah, he had a quality. That third round was insane.
That was an entertaining fight. So I mean, you know, there's definitely plenty more to come from Jamie Malarkey, and I think he's nowhere near the chopping board just yet. You know, he's had a rocky start since joining the UFC, and he will definitely continue to improve.
Some do though. Some do.
Well, that's it. You know, you just never know. Okay, and then moving on, we had Miranda Maverick taking the win against Jillian Robertson.
Yeah.
She kind of surprised us, really. She was very confident being in Robertson's guard. She mixed up her striking with her wrestling very well. Robertson was able to time a takedown in the second round and cause problems for Maverick on the ground, but she stayed busy. She landed the shots. She worked to get back to her feet, you know. And two of the judges did score.
I've got a question for you, boys. Yeah, I was just about to get to that, mate. I was just about to ask you that question. I was just about to. You've just took the words out my mouth there. I was going to say, were you two not surprised with the judges' scorecards?
No,
They gave all three to Maverick, bearing in mind Robertson had her on the mat for most of the second round.
Yeah, I watched that fight back, and to be honest, it's baffled me why those judges didn't give Robertson that second round. I mean, if there was open scoring, could you imagine what would happen? Like if she looked up at the scoreboards and realised, hang on, like I should have taken that round. Like I had her in a dominant position in the ground. How, you know, my only take on it was perhaps maybe Maverick she was busy in terms of the strikes on the ground. But
to be fair, she was,
Jillian was controlling.
Yeah, but if you're looking at who took the round, who put the damage on, who had the control other than that, I mean, she was on the ground for most of the round, but when it was on the feet, it was clearly all in favor of Maverick, the real Maverick.
Definitely Maverick's pushing that top 15 now.
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Definitely a contender, mate.
Looking at this here, so she's a new entry here at number 15. So she's taken Jillian's place, of course, and she's climbing fast. And I'll be really excited to see her against some of these big contenders. I mean, right next door to her neighbor, Macy Barber, that would be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, Macy Barber's coming off a loss.
That'd be an interesting one, that would.
I wouldn't really expect that. I think Talia Santos is a potential because she's coming off of a win against Jillian Robertson as well, and is ranked slightly higher than her. I think that's a fun fight for her as well, and I think that's a great I think it's a great fight for her stylistically as well, you know.
Bulldog of a fighting style.
Yeah, precisely.
Well, this is it.
You know, and she is a strong competitor, and you saw that in that third round. You know, she was able to stuff the takedown and take Robertson's back and use her strength to her advantage. And I think Talia Santos, I reckon she can bully her in there.
Yeah, and I mean Maverick's someone who's well-rounded, so she's good on her feet as well as she can be quite good on the mat as well.
Yeah.
Someone like Jessica I is a technical striker, so I'd like to see how she goes up against her striking ability. Now, it might be pushing a bit too far up the table. I mean, I definitely think Maverick's going to cause problem for the top 10 when her time comes around. Yeah. Which hopefully is not going to be too many fights from there. I agree.
Okay.
But, you know, again,
Definitely
some
agree.
of the fights I'm excited to see here would be Macy Barber. Maybe not now, but I would love to see that. Hopefully Barber comes off a couple of wins and they meet again in the top 10.
Yeah.
That would be fire.
Yeah, no, it'd be an entertaining one. Yeah, maybe down the line we'll see what happens with Macy Barber. But as for Jillian Robertson, what do you reckon about a potential fight with maybe Molly McCann? Meatball Molly?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. Yeah,
because Molly's coming off of a loss as well, and she's probably sort of around about same sort of area, trying to push top 15, being a lot unlucky in some of her bouts as well.
All right.
Yeah, you say that again. Definitely unlucky in some of her bouts. Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, you know.
I mean, how old is Robertson? She's what, mid-20s?
I think she was about 25.
25? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
still young.
she's still got so much time to get back up in the top 10, top 15.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe take some time off and maybe reassess things.
Yeah, he's got time for that as well, yeah.
And then before jumping back in there.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not too keen to see her fight anytime soon. You know, I thought she's she needs to sort of make a couple more improvements to her game. I think, you know, the world's evolved massively. since she was on her win streak and was unstoppable. She was great, obviously, at takedowns and all that sort of thing, but I think her striking ability just hasn't actually improved much. She's always relied on the ground, on the canvas, but she needs to now work on her striking ability, and I reckon time away to do that would not going to be a silly idea.
And let's move on to the bantamweight division then, as Sean O'Malley comes back after his first loss. Came out on the front foot. He dictated the pace and caused a lot of problems for Almeida by not letting him get into range. He was able to do this by keeping Almeida on the end of his kicks. So he used them very effectively. He landed a head kick as Almeida reacted to his jab, and then followed up with a left hand which dropped him. Should have followed up maybe to get the TKO win. But decided
he wanted that walk-off KO, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted that walk-off KO, but Almeida recovered, really. So that's definitely something he's going to regret doing, for sure.
Definitely regret it, because he could have gone to the decision there. And obviously, he said in his post-fight press conference that he wanted to finish. And he had it there, but just decided to walk off. But, well, I wouldn't say luckily, because it was a very timed precision left hook that dropped Almeida in the third. But it nearly went to a decision. So... But what surprised me was Almeida was staying where O'Malley wanted him, if you know what I mean. Like you mentioned a minute ago, staying on the end of his kicks, staying on the end of his punches. He wasn't getting in boxing range. He just let O'Malley pick him apart, really.
We broke down his fight, didn't we, ahead of it, and we said, ways to win for someone like Almeida was to close the distance, not let O'Malley stay outside and dictate his shots, but actually get on the inside and actually cause damage, because that's when he's lethal, up and close. And O'Malley wouldn't like that. He wouldn't want that. But fair play to O'Malley. He fought his fight and was able to keep the distance and play exactly how he liked it.
Yeah, I think if you're O'Malley, though, I think you need to look at this as almost a bit of a positive, really. The fact that he was able to nearly go 3 rounds, kind of says a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Really, as a competitor, it's all well and good starching people rounds 1 and 2 and stuff. Obviously, that's going to get you higher and more rewards, but at the same time, it kind of shows that you can be pushed into
getting them rounds getting them rounds in the bag.
No, precisely. But I mean, eventually he got the win with the 3rd round TKO after landing a left hand over the top as Almeida was charging forward. So clearly Almeida got a bit frustrated there, and Almeida was able to capitalize.
Call it walk-offs, right? Walk-offs.
Yeah.
So when he, starches him as he does, and likes to walk off as if he had barely even gone to work, and he's good at doing that. And he thought he had it in the first round, didn't he? But
the ranking's been updated with O'Malley. Is he top 15 now, or
he's not?
Ranked?
No, we can't really look at the rankings for that, but we can talk about possible fights. No. So what do you guys reckon about? I mean, it's a bit far fetched in terms of both guys are probably sort of at the same sort of level, and I don't think they'd get paired up. But wouldn't you just love to see Adrian Yanez taking on Sean O'Malley?
Oh, that'd be a quality fight, yeah.
Probably not next, maybe down the line. That's what would be fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And part of me,
I'm saying that's the thing. Yanez won't sit back. He will go for it.
Yeah, which could play into O'Malley's hands as well. And part of me
could do. That's what I mean. Because obviously
with O'Malley in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think for me it'd be like, can he suffocate O'Malley and cut off the octagon? Because I think that's one of his weaknesses. That's one way to get the upper hand on the fight with someone like O'Malley. Don't give him too much space to work.
Yeah,
it's easier said than done. I mean, Almeida was clearly trying to cut off the octagon, but O'Malley just keeps moving.
Yeah, and then he got caught. Yeah,
too unpredictable, isn't it?
And that's the thing. I think someone like a wrestler, someone like a wrestler is going to maybe going to cause O'Malley problems. That's going to drag him into them deep waters.
Yeah,
this is it. Yeah, so we
like a Jimmy Rivera or
Frankie
maybe
Edgar.
Pedro Munoz or Frankie Edgar.
Hey,
potentially down the line.
This is it. I was having a conversation.
Please don't make that happen, by the way. Please don't make that happen.
I just put in a word with a big man, and I'll make it happen. Don't worry. So the thing about someone like Almeida, like he has 0 takedown ability, but there was a bit of a suggestion that he had that wrinkle to his game in his last fight because it's like, take him down, do the takedown. And this is it, right? If he was able to do that, that could have really swung the tide or really slowed down the rhythm of O'Malley's fight. Now, is Almeida the guy to test O'Malley on his back? I don't know. Is that the way to do it? I think so.
I just don't think it's Almeida's really his style.
It's not.
You know,
when you look at his game, it's not.
He
needs
to bring something new.
I know he has to.
He's got to look at the direction he's going in now. From the top, he was a top 10 fighter. This guy.
No, I totally agree with you.
Do you think that's it for Almeida now, or?
I mean,
that's 3 losses in a row now. I think, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think for the UFC need to move him on and do what they used to do. You know, a couple of years ago, they don't do it as much now. I mean, it still happens. It definitely happened recently with Darren Stewart, where the UFC will move them on, go back down a peg. Go to a different, smaller organization, get a win there, maybe 2, and then we'll get you back in there, and just to build the confidence back up again, really. Because Darren Stewart did that recently. He went back down to Cage Warriors, had a fight there. They did lose though, but. And then was able to get a sort of I think it might have been a last-minute replacement against Kevin Holland. Quote me wrong.
Another one that's good about Anthony Rumble Johnson, isn't it? He lost a couple, but then went away and come back a beast, though, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he went to Strikeforce and that was it. There's a new Rumble Johnson.
Return of the Mac.
Exactly. So things like that.
What I wanted to touch on about O'Malley quickly was obviously we broke it down in our previous live stream about how he was going to come in due to his injury, because he's recently had a couple of injuries to do with his, I don't know if his ankle itself, his foot, his leg, but he's taken a lot of leg kicks in a couple of fights, and obviously nerve damage there, and that's why I was interested to see how he would implement his game, because he is quite kick heavy, and but he seemed to be fine.
Yeah, no, it didn't really seem to phase him as much. I mean, going back to his last fight against Marlon Vera, he did try and keep that poker face, but then there's only a certain sort of threshold that you can take until you break. But Thomas Almeida just didn't really expose it as much, really.
I mean, I think
that's true. Yeah, he did land a good couple of leg kicks though.
He did, yeah. No, he definitely did. Especially in the lower sort of calf area, but just wasn't enough. But moving on to get back to sort of possible fights, then for O'Malley, you could have the Marlon Vera rematch because Marlon Vera is coming off a loss. But are they really going to do that?
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
It's like too frequent for it to be.
Right, I'm back.
So moving on with the possible matchups for Sean O'Malley, then, because obviously you've got the potential Marlon Vera rematch, maybe. Marlon Vera is coming off of a loss to Jose Aldo, so
I mean, I'm keen to get this guy back up on the top 15, back on the scene. I mean, he's a great fighter, and he needs to be.
I think that's what he's going to look for.
Yeah, or Kyler Phillips.
Possibly.
Maybe,
Phillips coming off of a win as well, but it could potentially be. But then the other one to throw in there is something which you're going to get on a little bit later on, aren't you, Ash? Is apparently a call out from Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
Hey.
So
yeah, could be. Dominic Cruz has called him out. Yeah. So
it would be
someone.
A silly fight for O'Malley to go for, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's the ranking jump there, which is fantastic, and yes, you're fighting 10. A veteran, but it's the experience of Dominic Cruz. I don't know if O'Malley is ready for something like that. Fight. No, exactly. Bit of a tough one.
Wait and see for that one.
Yeah. So let's move on to the welterweight division. Then we've got Vicente Luque getting that first round submission against Tyron Woodley. He got the job done against a more aggressive Tyron Woodley, who came out trying to make a statement. He rocked Woodley though with a barrage of shots, a left hook and a right hand over the top that stunned him before tossing him across the fence. That was quite crazy, wasn't it, to see? And then Woodley
over the octagon, didn't he?
Basically.
Wow.
and Woodley fell as he looked to land a big shot of his own, and Luque wrapped up that what's called a barbo choke. But what did we make of Vicente Luque's performance then?
Well, personally,
Mate,
I thought it was epic.
Yeah.
It was epic. It was great. Really good strategy going into it as well. I think you guys went for Woodley for that fight, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
So I did side with Luque on that one, hoping going for the upset. But yeah, like I feel like he did really well at countering and just catching Woodley as he came in. And what I was hoping to see in that fight, if you guys remember, was to see the Woodley of old, the vintage Woodley.
Exactly.
And
that's
he
why
certainly was animated in that first 30 seconds. We thought we had him. That's
why I think that's why I went for him anyway. I was expecting that vintage Woodley, and I think you got to take your hat off to him almost, because we did start to question where is his mindset at in terms of fighting, and he did almost basically show that vintage Tyron Woodley, but in some respect it was maybe just a little bit too much. He did kind of.
Yeah, I think it, like as he come out and said, he did get a bit excited when he landed that big right. He got a bit excited, but that's the Woodley that we know. He lands a shot and goes in for the kill, but unfortunately he just come up against a guy that had a decent chin, good mindset, and just overall tough.
Oh yeah.
No, absolutely.
That's the thing about Luke. He doesn't stop. The guy. He's a Terminator machine, and he'll eat as many punches as he needs to get in and hurt you. So real
absolutely.
dangerous prospect.
And arguably, it's probably his greatest win, right? I mean, you could argue to say it's the Wonderboy fight was a tough fight for him. Wonderboy kept him on the end of everything. But I think beating Woodley is almost more impressive than beating Wonderboy in some respect. Do you not agree, Ash?
Yeah.
Purely because Woodley has been
definitely,
champion.
Yeah.
I
mean, here's the thing though: is there much glory in beating a washed-up champion? Someone like Woodley, he's on his way down the rankings. He's yet to win a round in the last.
True. He's
15,
not looked
16
himself.
now.
That's true.
Yeah, and so is there glory in that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Like Jordan mentioned, though, where was Woodley's mindset at the start of the fight? Obviously, landing a big shot against Luque, and not dropping him and not affecting him that much. Like, where would your mindset be, knowing you're a big power puncher and not starching someone landing a big shot?
I can tell you where it was. It was I haven't won a round in 15.
Let's go and knock this guy in the first round.
Let's not make this 16. Yeah, exactly. Let's make sure I win this very next round.
I mean, he came out and he got the body lock straight away. And I was expecting, as I said in the build-up, I was expecting maybe Woodley to try and get the fight to the ground. But I think he did lose out in that kind of clinch game with Luque up against the fence. I think that just kind of knocked him off of his game plan almost. I think he was maybe a little bit overconfident that he would use his strength to get Luque down, and then as soon as he gets him down, he was able to dictate and can kind of control the fight. But it just didn't really go that way, really. And then frustration kicks in, and that's when you start to rush things.
Well put.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's next then for Vicente Luque? Because we can now see that he's now sitting at number 6. He's got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who he lost to before, sitting above him. Jorge Masvidal, Leon Edwards, Gilbert Burns, and Colby Covington. He did call out Nate Diaz.
You said Gilbert. Yeah, I was going to say. I was just about to say he called out Nate Diaz, and then also we had Gilbert Burns in his corner. So that's a bit of a funny one.
No, that's it. Obviously, can't really get Nate Diaz now because he's now taking on Leon Edwards. So what could we see?
Taking on Leon Edwards.
It's anyone above him is got a fight apart from Wonderboy, but Wonderboy is probably not going to go up against the guy he's already beaten so soon. So
I don't think that's going to happen again anytime. And it was a brutal beating as well. It was almost to a point where Wonderboy was taking pity on him in the last rounds, knowing he had won it and didn't hurt him so much. It was almost like Yeah, he's pitied him, kind to him at the very end. But yeah, I can't see that happening again anytime soon.
No, I mean he could sit out.
Yeah,
and
no.
Take the winner of Leon Edwards and no, maybe the loser of it.
I would, yeah, or he could because Masvidal and Usman is happening end of next month. He could wait out and get the loser of that, but I think a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of people think that Usman's going to absolutely 50-45 him again and go the full 5 rounds and lose. So true. I don't think Masvidal will take a fight against Luque though.
Nah, nor do I. No, I don't think he will.
So if you're Vincente Luque, I think you've got to fight Michael Chiesa. If Chiesa's not going to fight Wonderboy.
Ooh, and Chiesa. Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. That one.
Good one.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say so. A little bit of a tough to call, to be honest.
I mean, I could see him going after the winner or loser of Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz.
Okay. I don't think Nate Diaz fighting Leon Edwards is a bit of a weird one to me still. The amount of the amount of fights that Nate Diaz has been potentially paired up with and people calling him out and things. The one against Leon Edwards just doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, and let's move on now to our final fight of the night. The main event, the heavyweight title fight. We had Francis Ngannou taking home the knockout win against Stipe Miocic in round 2. Now, we expected a more patient Ngannou in this fight, and we got exactly that. But did the cage size have a factor?
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Me? To me, you got two huge heavyweights in there. You got to. Yeah, you got to. For me, I've got to say, I feel like Ngannou worked too hard to have part of his glory taken away by the fact the cage was smaller. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. But I mean,
that's true. That's a fair point.
But Stipe ate an overhand right early. He then stepped in for that single leg. But Ngannou was able to stuff the head, prevent the takedown, and grab a body lock. He then initiated a takedown of his own. Was that wise?
Indeed.
Was that shocking to see?
When I saw that, I was a bit like, what are you doing?
Shocking. What are you doing?
But still, I was like, mate, he just made Stipe his bitch.
Exactly. It's shocking. It's like, you don't want to be there with Stipe. No. Stipe's going to have the advantage on the ground.
Yeah, he did it, and it's
that's what I mean. The new improved Francis Ngannou. The new improved Ngannou. But as they were saying, a patient Ngannou is a scary Ngannou.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what I was more afraid
of. You just don't know when you're going to get knocked out.
You know
what I mean?
Just spend the whole time across the octagon from him like this, you know?
But he managed to make it past the first round, and then round 2 starts, and you start to see Ngannou throughout that, try to throw out that left hook to get Stipe to circle onto his power right. Do you not notice that? And then, but instead, he cracks Stipe with a straight left, and then sets it up by throwing a straight right first, causing him to change stances, and then he was able to generate enough power to put Stipe down. Like it was just
mate,
such a joy to watch.
Masterclass,
you know, and it just gets you thinking. You know, he's now adding this patient approach to his game and a bit more of a technical aspect as opposed to just going in there and throwing heavy and just landing, you know? Clearly, he is the champion, but you can still see that there's still more growth in his game. You know, there's so much growth.
Yeah, he's still got to a lot improve on his other bits and sharpening his tools on his other areas. But already, obviously, even probably before the fight, his knockout power is no question. Go on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is this is where you get to, you know, when you've been winning fights round after round, fight after fight on your power, you just start thinking to yourself, what else do I need? I don't need it. This does the job. If it's not fixed, if it's not broken, why fix it? But evidently when you get to the top and you start getting those challenges through, and when he came in, when he met with Stipe, that was the first time when he realized that there's other ways to win a fight instead of just power. You know?
Well, absolutely.
And this is it. You know, I think he's got a great team around him. You know, Usman Burns, Usman Burns, Kamaru Usman in his corner. Is a great sort of feather in his cap. That's certainly help him.
Yeah, and it was it was actually
definitely helped him out. Must have.
Yeah, it was actually Stipe charging forward, which kind of created a lot of momentum for Ngannou to
Yeah, because he thought he hurt Ngannou, didn't he? So
that's what he did.
That's what I mean. Him coming in,
and got caught,
walked onto something.
That's
crazy.
That's all she wrote, really.
Yeah.
Herb Dean had his running shoes on again.
Oh
yeah.
He
definitely needed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a Dean again when it started. It was like in the octagon. It was like, oh mate. Well, to be fair, the octagon was smaller, so if anything, it didn't help out Ngannou. It helped Dean get to the crime scene a lot sooner.
Should have.
Yeah.
True. But what's next for Francis Ngannou then? We've obviously got the John Jones match, which everyone's ranting and raving about, including John Jones at the moment.
Yep.
Do we want to see that fight? I mean, stupid question, really, but do you want to see it now?
That's what I mean. I do and I don't. I do and I don't, because obviously, like he's been breaking down. So you could break that fight down all day. Like obviously, John Jones at light heavyweight could pick people apart for 5 rounds, but can he stay away from Francis Ngannou's power for 5 rounds?
Well, that's it. I mean,
he's not going to have enough. I don't think he's going to have enough strength to take him down, like in the clinch. I mean, maybe like a strong double leg, maybe, but
no, I'm swaying on it a little bit, and purely because John Jones is a better wrestler than Stipe, and John Jones's fight IQ is a lot higher than Stipe's.
That's true.
I think John can avoid those heavy shots, duck under, get the takedown, and almost do what Stipe did to Francis in the first fight.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Even with a small octagon. But, or do you want to... Would you rather see Francis almost build up to that? If he's able to keep winning.
So I say that again?
Build up to John Jones.
Yeah, almost build up to John Jones.
I can't give. I mean, John Jones. He's a great fighter, but I can't give him that much credit over someone like Francis Ngannou. I think they're pretty well paired now. I think if anything, John Jones needs to get a bit more ready for Ngannou.
Well, in terms of weight wise, yes,
exactly.
Yeah. And that is true. And for me, when you look at Jones's previous fights, they have all gone to a decision, but he hasn't looked the John Jones of old, almost.
Like the dominant John Jones that we know.
Exactly. Completely dominant.
That's the only thing that's swaying me a little bit towards the John Jones versus Ngannou is that we've already seen a Derek Lewis versus Ngannou. It wasn't a great fight, but the aspect of obviously that fight being a little bit hesitant from Ngannou's point is because it was the first fight, him coming off of that dominant performance from Stipe the first time. So again, that was a hesitant Ngannou, but I'm not sure why Derek Lewis was a little bit so hesitant as well. But obviously they're both obviously massive now. Like that, I still think it'll be a quality fight.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight. Definitely.
Come on, 2 big guys like that. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, to build up towards John Jones, that would be a good fight to have. However, from the UFC standpoint, it'd be a little bit hard to sell, seeing as though the last fight was
maybe
boring.
It's true.
But nonetheless, it's got to come at some point, unless Derek Lewis gets paired with Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane defeats Derek Lewis. Then that
because them two have been rumoured,
So it's all up in the air. Would I like to see the John Jones fight?
Definitely
Absolutely.
Yep.
Do I want to see it now? I don't know. I just can't really put my tongue to it. I can't.
I wouldn't mind.
I want to see John Jones at heavyweight first.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how that pack plays out. I mean, if you look, well, then again, you saw how Izzy did going straight into a title picture, moving up in weight class.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That didn't fare very well.
The clinch was the example I just used.
Yeah, the strength of Blankovic in that fight was just a bit too much
Yeah.
for Izzy. And we all,
Yeah.
well, majority of the people out there were very confident that Izzy was just going to take the belt at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But, you know, and it's almost the same sort of scenario with John Jones moving up to heavyweight. So it wouldn't be
Yes,
it
exactly.
would be nice
Because
to see...
people might think that John Jones is going to pick him apart.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I would like to... Yeah, part of me does want to see John Jones take on a heavyweight just to test the
Yeah.
you know, but then again, the guy wants to get paid. But we'll move on to that a little bit later on.
He wants a money fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. But what do
That's-
you guys reckon is next for Stipe then? I would like to see, that third fight against Francis, but to me, I think Stipe might take a year out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Everyone's denying
He
it.
usually does.
He's just of his age, just because of his age.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Really. And, you know, after a year out, do you want to step back into this?
And it's concussion-wise as well, especially after going out like that against Ngannou.
Yeah,
You kind of need to take at least a year off to recover,
that's
right?
true.
So
Yeah.
I think he sits on the fence for a little while.
That's what I mean. Like everyone's yeah, definitely. Like we've been saying, obviously we just mentioned about the Derek Lewis and the John Jones, but everyone's denying Stipe the rematch. Like I know it may be boring as in the aspect of obviously doing a third fight because he done it with Daniel Cormier, but in my eyes, I think it kind of needs to happen because it's 1-1.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's got to happen down the line anyway. If Stipe is going to continue and not retire, I'd expect him to, I said, sit on the fence, see how things play out. You know, maybe give Francis that fight against John, and then if Francis loses against John and John becomes the heavyweight champ,
Stipe's around to mop
that
up.
that fight's back on because both guys are coming off of a loss as well. Yeah, and you know that could be a title eliminator maybe down the line. So
What about John Jones going up against Stipe?
ooh.
He's got to come in, and if we don't think he's ready to go straight for gold right away,
But Jones has been out.
that's-
Jones has
that's
been
true.
out for quite some time already.
To be
though.
fair,
he wants to get straight in there.
oh okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
true.
reckon Stipe needs some time off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if Stipe sits back in the octagon sooner than Aljamain Sterling, I mean that would be laugh.
Bloody everyone's gonna jump back in the octagon before that geezer. I tell you, he's still concussed now, isn't he?
Probably.
Oh, I don't know. That's true. That's true.
Still milking it.
So let's maybe move on to the pound for pound rankings because that changed as well. A lot of movement in that.
Indeed, it did.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Because we've got, since Khabib has now officially retired, John Jones reclaims the top spot, the pound for pound rankings. You've got Stipe dropping down
Ooh.
to 7th, and Francis going into number 5.
Yeah. On the rise. So he's gone up 8
Oh,
places.
wow.
Francis has gone up 8 places.
I mean,
which is amazing.
That's what it does to you
Wow.
winning a belt in terms of the pound
That's
for pound
crazy.
rankings, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Shoot straight up. And Izzy's got on the rise as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was somewhere down by like 7 after his last loss against Blachowicz, but he's up there as well. So everything's shaken up. With these this week with the change. But I mean, Kamaru Usman, he's in second place.
Who do you reckon is going to finish pound for pound by the end of the year?
Oh, we actually didn't do that in our video, but
Hey,
I think it's
No, but that's an interesting one, isn't it?
that's a highly versatile assumption. Like this particular division goes up and down faster than anything.
I mean, if Francis gets the John Jones fight and Francis starches John Jones, then you've got the best pound for pound.
Yeah,
and
if Francis or John Jones wins, then bosh.
you got a potential GOAT on the horizon, to be honest. You know, that's a massive title on its own to be the guy who's beaten John Jones, who arguably hasn't lost a fight. You know, he's got that one loss on his record, but that was a disqualification against Matt Hamill. So, you know, for something he was doing illegally, and that was the downward elbow. So technically he hasn't lost.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman is going to be fine a bit later on as well. So, I mean, if he loses this one against Francis and Ngannou,
Yeah, that's
then
true.
it does
Can
open
make
a door for
movements
someone
there.
like Usman. He's still there to move up.
It's true.
So I don't know. I guess for me, it's hard to say. I would love to see Francis on top for long. How old is he? He's still in his prime. He's still got his strength and power. Someone like John Jones, I'm worried about sort of dropping off. The same sort of thing we've seen to like every title belt holder. I think what Khabib done was good. Quick while he was ahead.
Yeah.
Got people like the Woodleys of this world we've seen him go down, down. And whilst it'd be hard for me to say, I don't want him to have left all those years ago after he lost the belt. But sadly, it just is the way it goes, isn't it? It's like it's a bell curve. People go up, then they go down. What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I don't think John Jones will be there by the end of the year. If I was to say who actually going to be there in the year, it'll be someone on the rise. It's going to be, I reckon it's going to be Usman. I reckon it might be Usman. Looking at the division underneath him, who's going to be challenging him? He's beaten everyone really he needs to beat underneath
apart
him
from
already.
Wonderboy Thompson.
That's true.
But I don't think that's going to happen because
That's very true. Apart from Wonderboy, yeah.
for some reason people want the Masvidal rematch and then they want the Colby Covington rematch, and it's like, come on now, guys.
Yeah.
Give him someone who's
Fresh meat.
different style completely.
I mean, styles makes fights. Come on.
100%. Well, let's move on to a bit of a social segment where we'll be discussing the Twitter conversations and some of those memes that be popping up. So that's over to you, Ash.
Yeah, so we've just got a bit of movement. Obviously, we all know that John Jones has been tweeting quite a lot previously from UFC 260. Been tweeting, show me the money. Obviously, he wants that fight we just previously mentioned with Ngannou, saying there's a lot of people that are questioning it, saying why is he putting on all that weight? But again, he's tweeted back and saying he is putting on that weight and he wants to fight Ngannou. They're denying him this, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Again, please put your comments down below if you think John Jones deserves that fight with Ngannou, or if you think Jones should have a fight before he fights for the title. Please do let us know. We've got another one. So the second tweet, it was on ESPN. They were live with Chael Sonnen and Michael Bisping, and we mentioned it earlier about O'Malley versus Cruz. So apparently Cruz has texted Chael Sonnen saying he wants to fight O'Malley. So we did mention that earlier. That's an interesting one. Like we said, stylistically, could potentially be an interesting fight. So, but is that throwing O'Malley too deep, too early? But for me personally, I think they want to keep O'Malley safe. He's their star at the moment. So for me, I think they're going to give him someone a bit less than Cruz. But again, please do let us know about that one. Moving on to the third one. We mentioned this earlier as well about Woodley. He's lost his fourth fight in a row now. So again, that's tough. 4 fights in a row. If you want to put that into perspective, he's lost 15 rounds in a row. Is he on his way to Bellator? Again, please do let us know if you think Woodley is done. So we've got the fourth one. Again, this one's just a bit of a meme, funny one. We've got to have a funny one in there for you guys. Obviously, Ngannou's got the power. We're going to send these guys over to whoever's fighting Ngannou. So we move on to the fifth one. This one we didn't mention earlier, but Derek Brunson and a few other professionals have been tweeting about Stipe's possibility of going down to 205. Obviously, we didn't even mention it earlier. What we said was next for Stipe. But again, that's an interesting one. Stipe moving to light heavyweight. Because again, he come in quite lean, a lot less weight than Ngannou. Ngannou was around the 260 mark. And I think Stipe was around the 230 mark. So could Stipe potentially go light heavyweight? For me, I think he can. I think he could be a dominant force in the light heavyweight. But again, please do let us know about that.
Thanks a lot for that, Ash.
Yes.
I know I sped through that, but just
nice.
A few tweets that we had there. Nice little funny one in the middle about Ngannou.
Oh, man, that made me laugh. I mean,
yeah.
I saw that tweet before, but I've only now just got it. Because they're the guys who carry the coffin, right?
Yeah. Did you not get that?
If you know, you know.
Yeah. At first I was like, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. It's good.
Dear. But yeah, no. Let us know what you think of those potential matchups that we've mentioned previously on the show. Get in the comment section below, and also chuck a like while you're there as well. Okay, so let's move on then to some closing remarks. Sorry, with you, Mr. Brown. Okay, amazing stuff. A lot to look forward to in the upcoming months.
Yes.
That's for sure. Just to round this off now, if you do like the video, just whack a like for us and get your comments in the section below. We're Against the Fence. Nice to see you. To see you nice. We'll see you again soon.